McCall, what a surprise.
I have a little something I need to say to you, but private.
If it's to thank me for the nice review in the paper of your restaurant, I mean, I had such a blast when the bus was on its screen.
It has nothing to do with that. Lily, darling, would you excuse us, please, just for a moment?
Sure. Fine. I'm so glad you had such a successful opening. I had a wonderful time.
Thank you. I'm glad you did.
Well, excuse me.
Darling, we haven't decided what we're doing this afternoon, so come up with something.
Okay, I'll think about it and get back to you.
To what do I owe the pleasure, Mrs. McCall?
Finally, after all of these years, I have the proof that all of those ugly accusations you made against Twit were lies.
Proof? Mm-hmm. What proof?
Well, I can't understand, though, why you would have to use poor Whit as a scapegoat. Why you wanted to blame him for Martin's death. But I can assure you, and you can just bet your little cashmere booties I'm going to find out why.
What is that?
This is a letter. It was written to Whitney by Martin the day Martin killed himself. Now, I don't know what crisis Martin was referring to. I don't even know why he felt that he had done something so awful that he just had to end it all. But I had probably because he married you. But when I do find out...
Where did you get this?
Oh, that's really not important. If I were you, I would just worry your pretty little head about why you have kept it a secret for all of these years. And once I find out the truth, Lucinda, this whole world is going to know what a scheming, conniving liar you are.
So, what is wrong?
Mama, I've done stupid things in my life. I really have. But now I can retire because I'm in the stupid Hall of Fame.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Shannon O'Hara asked me to be in her wedding. You know, Tom's the best man. So at first I said no, you see, until she told me that that's exactly what Barbara said I would say.
So, you said yes?
Yes, I said yeah. I was so mad that smug little... She may have busted up my marriage, but she's not going to run my life. Do you know that she told Shannon O'Hara that we were best friends?
That's outrageous. What planet does she think she's on?
I couldn't believe it. So I went over to Fashions to sort of give her the missing pieces to her jigsaw puzzle, you know, and you know what happened? Tom walked in. I was so embarrassed and so mad, I split.
Well, maybe he wasn't there to see Barbara. Maybe he was there to see Lisa.
Mama, I don't care who he was there to see. I really don't. The point is, I am now in a wedding party with the man I am trying to divorce.
You must still love him, or else it wouldn't bother you.
I never denied I still love him. But that isn't enough to hold a marriage together, Mama.
Seems like a good start, though.
And what about trust? What happens when that's broken? Am I supposed to stick my neck out and risk getting hurt again?
Well, but it's my two favorite women and both in the same spot. Gosh.
Well, John, your ears must be burning.
Why? You were talking about me.
No, but we might as well have been.
Kim, this is doing you no good, dear. You must relax and try to be calm.
Oh, I wish I could relax, but this is so unbelievable. I mean, Franny and I are kidnapped by a madman, by a psychopath who killed 3 other people. He could have killed us. He attacked Franny, and now they accuse me of murdering him in cold blood.
Darling, Chris has been a lawyer for a lot of years, and he says that the district attorney is simply grandstanding. The grand jury will not give any credence to his charges.
I know. Tom said the same thing, but they didn't think I'd be charged with murder either.
Kim, you must think of the baby. You must think of yourself. Now, you must try...
Tom, hi. I didn't expect to see you back so soon.
Well, I ran into Margot at Fashions. Apparently, the grand jury is partially assembled. You and Franny could be subpoenaed any day.
Oh, no.
I knew he would work fast. I had no idea he would work this fast. Hi.
Hello, darling. Did Margot tell you anything more?
Yes. Apparently, the DA thinks he has some evidence to refute Kim's statement.
What evidence? What?
She wasn't able to find that out, but I'm going to want to go over your story from beginning to end again.
Oh, no.
Listen, Kim, I want you to be sure of every detail before Hobson puts you in front of that grand jury.
I have told my story again and again and again, every horrible detail.
And the jury is going to believe that you're innocent. You have nothing to worry about because you got nothing to hide.
Hi, everybody.
Turns. This portion brought to you today by today's all-temperature cheer. 3 temperatures, 1 great clean. And by Crisco oil for fried foods with no greasy taste and for light-tasting salads.
Any more news in the grand jury hearing?
Yes, apparently the district attorney thinks he has some evidence to refute Kim's statement.
That's impossible. Kim and I both told him exactly what happened. Now, what
We're
did he
not
say?
going to know, Franny, not until the grand jury is convened.
I think everybody could use a cup of tea. I'll go make it.
All right, John, thank you.
Roy has no respect for this Hobson. I mean, that's why he's off this case. Where does Hobson get the gall to think that what Kim did was not justifiable homicide?
Because, Heather, he's got a statement from Marcia Talbot claiming full responsibility for the kidnapping. It makes Doug look almost innocent.
That is crazy. No grand jury is going to believe her. She's being convicted of killing Kevin Gibson. She's just trying to get revenge because she loved Douglas. Oh, man.
Look, I don't want to frighten you too unnecessarily, but I also don't want you to underestimate Marcia Talbot's determination. Now, her own lawyer dropped the case and went back to Texas.
Why?
Well, apparently he didn't feel he could represent her. She is determined to stick to her story no matter what the cost.
But Heather's right, isn't she? I mean, no grand jury in the world will believe
Franny,
her.
she told the DA something we don't know, something that was not in that statement. Now, I don't like Hobson, but he's not stupid, and he's not going to risk putting a grand jury together if he doesn't think he has a case. We have to go over your statement one more time, Kim, from beginning to end, from the time you walked in and saw Doug attacking Franny.
Oh.
All right, look, maybe we can skip that. We can go right to what I think is the sticking point. Now, Franny, you told Hobson that when Kim walked into the room, Doug turned and called out her name. But, Kim, you told Hobson that Doug did not call out your name, and that's why you were able to kill him.
Yes.
Well, the stories don't jive. What is the grand jury going to think?
Franny passed out. No wonder she doesn't remember it. And as far as maybe he did call out my name. I just didn't hear him. It happened so fast. I don't know what really happened. What difference does it make whether she heard him or not? She wouldn't lie, all right? This is ridiculous. What am I going to do?
Dr. Chapin, I have no choice. I have to keep lying to protect Franny. She was so shattered by what happened. If she had any idea
It's not
she's
fair. It's not fair.
she might never recover. Oh, I saw Kim earlier. She's like the Rock of Gibraltar. She's an amazing woman.
Where did you see her?
Well, I went to go talk to Don.
What do you do that for? You give him a chance to cut you up even more than he has.
It wasn't for personal reasons, John. I am trying to help Kim by passing along helpful things that I hear at the station. Oh. Speaking of which, I have to go right now, back to the station.
So do I. Margot, listen to me. You just remember one thing. A broken trust can be hard to repair, but it's not impossible.
Wish I could believe that. Goodbye, John.
Goodbye.
Lila? Hello, Margot.
John, I was wondering if you could do me a favor.
Well, that's a switch.
Lucinda Walsh is a friend of yours, or at least you seem to have some influence over her.
I managed to win a couple of battles with her. What's on your mind?
I was wondering if you could tell her to keep her reporters away from my home and stop calling me on the phone. We're not making any statements, and it's very upsetting to my family, including your son.
I'll see what I can do, but I tell you, she's a very hard lady to change her mind when it comes to selling newspapers.
You honestly think that that is the only copy of that letter I have?
Mrs. McCall, I have read that letter, and that letter was not written by Martin Guest. That is a concoction that you and Brian have cooked up to whitewash wit. That is not even in Martin's handwriting.
Oh, poor man was probably just drunk when he wrote it.
And there is no signature, Mrs. McCall. So we have a rambling note with no signature that proves not anything. Now, would you please leave my house?
Lucinda, poor Lucinda, I think this acid rain has kind of seeped through to your brain because you haven't been able to understand or comprehend what I'm trying to tell you. You see, Craig Montgomery and I are not only partners in the restaurant business, but we are both determined to find out why and what made Martin Guest kill himself. And Craig is very concerned that no other innocent person is hurt by you and your lies, and I am very concerned to clear Rick's name once and for all. So, what I'm trying to do is warn you, little lady, get yourself all braced up because the truth is on its way. Now, I have spoken.
What was that all about?
That was nothing. 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 You have to worry yourself about my baby. Nothing.
No, she's silly. Mama should be sleeping. No, I need to rest.
I am sorry that I upset you bringing up Lucinda and your family.
It's okay, really. I mean, you know, I don't know why I got upset. It was silly. I guess I just got upset because Mrs. Walsh is using Holden to keep Lily off the farm, that's all.
The reason I brought it up at all is because Lily's convinced that Lucinda has very strong feelings against you, and she senses the same kind of tension that Lucinda has whenever that mysterious woman calls with those phone calls I told you about.
I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't really know. I'm just glad that Holden had the guts to tell Mrs. Walsh to buzz off, that's all.
Okay, well, I just hope it doesn't cost Holden his job.
Well, I don't know if that would be so bad. I mean, Steve has offered him a job, and I'd much rather have Holden working for somebody like Steve than somebody like the dragon lady, you know? What's so funny?
Pretty spunky. I like it a lot better than that lady that's going to turn tail and run.
Hi, Craig.
Hi, Meg.
What are you doing home from work so early?
Steve gave me the afternoon off. How's Mama?
She's been out in the fields ever since I got home from school.
The doctor told her to rest.
I know. I tried to tell her that, but she says doctors don't understand the demands of nature and spring planning. I really enjoyed the opening the other night. You know, I never saw so much champagne or food or men.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, Meg.
Hey, and don't forget, I really do want a job this summer. I really mean it. I'd love to work with all those rich people.
I think you should just forget about that because you're going to be helping Mama around the farm this summer.
Well, why don't you just quit your cushy job?
I don't know. Oh, summer's here for sure. On its way. Mama, why aren't you in bed? Well, because doctors don't know the demands of nature and of spring planning. What was that? Yeah. You know what? I'm going to crochet a sampler with that saying on it. You know, you're never going to change. I wish you'd just take care of yourself. We want you around for a while.
Don't worry. After all that planning, I'm not going anywhere until after the harvest. Oh, Holden called today with some very good news.
About what?
Well, it seems that Mrs. Walsh has given him a raise. It's the third one since he started working for us.
I can't believe that Tom's still going over contesting here.
Well, Franny, that is the sign of a good lawyer. He's making sure the client is prepared.
Yeah.
Mrs. Hughes, I keep dreaming about your golden anniversary party. It was so beautiful. Oh, it was. Well, you young people were what made it so very special. Look what you had to look forward to when you celebrate yours some years hence. Yes, I'd say about 50 years and 2 months. Are you and Roy getting that serious? Well, I'm working on it. We are meeting his family tonight. We've been so busy we haven't had time, but tonight is the night. I'm really nervous.
Oh, you have nothing to be nervous about. He'll love you. I know this.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh,
Hey,
glad
Kim.
you're home.
Yeah, me too. Hi, Mom.
Hello, darling.
Where's Kim?
She's in with Tom. They're going over her testimony for the grand jury.
Tom thinks that Hobson may have come up with something that contradicts Kim's statement.
What? Hello, Dan. How are you? Hi, Tom. Hi, Dan.
I'm just going to start dinner.
Okay, what's this about Hobson may have some new evidence? That's what Margot heard, but she's not sure what it is. Well, could it be serious? Well, Dad, Kim's story has been basically the same from the beginning. If Hobson does have something to refute it, we could be in trouble.
Hughes! What are you doing in here? I asked you what you're doing in this office.
I work here, sir, remember?
Have you met my new assistant?
No, I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Bill Carey, this is Detective Margot Hughes.
How do you do?
Nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you, Hughes.
I'm sure you have.
You have no right to be in here, you know that.
Occupational hazard, sir, I'm afraid.
Bill, would you get those papers that we worked on this morning over to the commissioner's office and then meet me back here?
Yes, sir. Goodbye, Hughes.
Goodbye, Carrie.
You were under strict instructions to stay away from this case. Your husband is defending Mrs. Hughes.
Defending, sir, don't you think you're jumping the gun? Grand jury hasn't exactly handed down an indictment.
I wouldn't go to a grand jury unless I expected to get one.
So the guy says, I don't know, but it happened the same time last year.
Excuse me. Detective Franklin.
Yes.
I want to have a word with you. I'm calling you as a witness on the Hughes case.
A witness?
Yes. I want you here this evening. I want to brief you. 5 o'clock.
Tonight? How long?
As long as it takes. You have some objection?
Well, I got a very important personal engagement at 6:30.
Well, I would make a phone call if I were you.
Right.
Hughes, you do have someplace to go, don't you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
We'll still try to shoot for 7, okay? If I'm a few minutes late, you'll understand.
Oh, I'll understand, boy, what I understand.
Your relationship with Detective Hughes extends outside this office?
We're friends. We're having dinner.
Well, that's sticky.
Sir?
I am calling you as an important witness in a case that involves her mother-in-law.
I've been a cop for a long time, sir. I think I can appreciate the delicacies of the situation. Let's get one thing straight, Mr. Hodson. If you have a question about my professional conduct, that's one thing. But my personal life is my own business.
Mom, yeah. I should go back down to the stables and finish my trig lesson with Holden.
No, baby, I'm almost through with this stuff. I am. I did so enjoy our lunch together, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Can I say something without it bugging you?
Bugging me? Of course.
I just feel that you're tense all the time. Even when you're trying to be plain old mom.
Darling, that's just my life.
I don't think that's what it is. I mean, you're acting like you did when you couldn't tell Sierra she was your daughter.
No, darling, that's just nonsense. It's work. It's just work.
And I feel like you're still keeping secrets from me.
Baby, your newfound prescience is wrong, right? Of course, my life would be a lot easier. Craig hadn't deserted me.
Craig did not desert you. He left because of something you did.
Did he now?
Yes, he did. I'm going to get that. See who it is.
My Lily, my Lily, my love.
Oh, hi, John. Nice to see you.
Oh, Lily.
Well, hello. The Walsh ladies are at home, and we are receiving today.
It's hardly a social call.
I missed you in school again today.
Yeah, I missed you, too.
Want to take a walk or down to the stable?
No. I mean, yes. Let's go someplace else.
Okay.
Ooh.
John?
Yes.
Lily and I are going to take a walk, all right?
All right, Dick, don't be too late, because you've got studies and finals, Dustin, and don't...
You look at that kid. I don't think he realizes these next couple of weeks could be the most important in his life. So I assume you haven't been following doctor's orders, right?
Ha, ha, ha. Excuse me, Doctor. Hello. Mrs. Walsh, this is Ida Snyder. I can't talk to you right now. No. I'll have to call you back.
Who was that?
Well, none of your business.
Really?
Perhaps you ought to think about avoiding them in the future.
Why?
Because your blood pressure just skyrocketed. Whoever that is, if he or she has this kind of effect on you, it could put you back into the hospital. Or even worse.
If you try to hurt my family in any way or take this out on Holden because he works for you, I swear I'm going to tell Lily the truth.
You went home to greet the prodigal son?
Oh, Beth! Oh, my God! Look at you! Oh, it's so good to have you home. You know, we need some happiness in our lives right now. Oh, welcome home.
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you today by Ultra Pampers. Even when they're wet, they're dry. And by Always Maxi Pads. In thin maxis, minis, and petty liners, too. We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now part 2 of As the World Turns.
You know, I really think you are taller than when I saw you at Thanksgiving.
Oh, I doubt that.
Well, anyway, I think you look great. This is great.
Thanks. Now, provided I had to spend another summer in that city, they'd have shipped me home in my suitcase. Oh, God, it's good to be home. You know, this place hasn't changed a bit. Oh, how's Mama?
Well, she won't listen to any of it. She won't rest, and that's why I'm glad you're home. Maybe you can help us out.
Where is everyone?
Mama is out in the fields with Meg, and they're showing a friend of mine the spring planting. And I had to make an important business call.
Oh, that's right. You're a very successful businesswoman now, huh?
Yeah, a little sort of. I mean, I like my job. My boss is a real nice guy. You know something? We're going to make a farmer out of you. Mama! Oh, my yes, oh, my sweetheart. Oh, hey, big brother.
God, is this Maggie? Oh, what happened to your pigtails and your braces and the pimples?
I skipped that stage.
I can answer to prayer.
Oh.
Same with me. God, I miss this place so much. And you all. We're all coming together again, aren't we?
Yeah. You know, in case you haven't guessed, this is my brother, Seth. Seth, I'd like you to meet a friend of mine, Chris Montgomery.
Hi. Pleased to meet you.
Seth, my brother.
But this is the one I can't get over. Are you sure you're my little sister?
Hey, if I wasn't, I'd be going after you.
Yeah, I bet you got the boys lined up 3 deep after school.
Oh, I wish, but I gotta come home here to do my chores. I have no social life at all. I mean it.
Where's Holden?
Oh, he's working for this fabulous woman, Lucinda Walsh, and she's worth millions. I'll call him and make sure that he'll come home. No, I have a better idea, actually. I'll go pick him up because I have some business to take care of. Oh, don't tell him. I'll surprise him.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I gotta get out to the restaurant. I'll give you folks some time to catch up. I don't think that tonight's such a good night for dinner, do you?
No. Catch me tomorrow.
All right, you can count on it.
Okay.
See you later. Bye. Take care. Thank you again. Very nice to meet you. Take care.
Bye.
So, Ira, is that the boss you like so much?
Oh, no. That's just a friend I've met since I've been back. Oh, he's more than just a friend, and you'll be seeing an awful lot of him, both day and night.
It looks like you were pretty busy when you and your mom when John and I came in.
Yeah, well, they are, but that changes day to day, sometimes hour to hour.
Why? Why is that?
Well, it's just the way she is. She lives each day, moment to moment. If you're on her agenda, great. If not, forget it. I figure I just learned to accept it, and then maybe I won't get as serious much anymore.
Sounds like a healthy attitude.
Yeah, I guess it is. Is this what growing up's all about? Learning how not to care about people? You know, why can't I belong to a nice family? Warm family like the Snyders? You know, I feel more comfortable talking to Iva and Sierra about my personal problems than my mother.
Well, that's because you're a teenager. That's normal.
Oh. How you been?
I've been okay, I guess.
It's a funny question to ask you.
Why?
Well, because we used to be so close. We used to talk all the time. All night on the phone sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like we're catching up on
I
things.
know that, but I had to make my trip to Harvard.
I
and
know. I just couldn't bear the thought of losing touch with you, that's all.
No, that's not going to happen, I promise, really. It's just all this extra pressure I have with studying and trying to get into Harvard and all that.
Don't worry. You're an excellent student.
Lily, I know that. But you understand the tremendous requirements that it takes to get into a school like this. It's so difficult. And it's so important to John.
What about you?
Well, I owe it to him. I really do. So I gotta give it my best shot.
Just don't lose it, Dusty, all right?
Lose what?
Your sense of fun.
What are you talking about? Lily, that's ridiculous. When finals are over, the summer's gonna be here. It's gonna be endless fun for you.
No!
I just have to figure out what I want to do, that's all.
Me too.
I know.
You know? How do you know?
Because you're growing up. I've noticed that you're becoming a woman. You're so beautiful, Lily. You really are. I think about you all the time, even though we're not together that much. I never felt like this with you before.
Me neither.
I don't suppose it would do any good to tell you that you've got to take it easier.
How can I take it easier when I have two difficult daughters? I have an immense empire to oversee.
Why don't you just put your heart on that list as well? I'm serious. You're far more tense than the last time I examined you.
Gosh, if people would stop telling me how tense I am, I might have more time to relax.
Well, since you don't seem to care whether you live or die, why don't we talk a little bit about where you're going to spend eternity?
I beg your pardon?
Why don't you be a good Samaritan and call up your reporters from the Hughes family?
Why?
Oh, I don't know. Charity, respect of privacy,
Oh, John,
kindness.
stop it. Those are catchwords. They mean as much to you as they do to me. Come on, I'm a newspaper woman, and this is hot news.
Why don't you think about it anyway, huh? And while you're doing that, I've got something else for you.
What?
Dustin and Lily.
What about Dustin and Lily?
I think their relationship is at a very dangerous stage. The summer is coming on. Dustin's going to Harvard in the fall.
Sounds like the ingredients for a salad.
I do not want Dustin to be derailed from his future. I do not want them to get into a situation that is so serious that they can't work it out.
John, really? You're not serious. Derailed? I mean, if you want Dusty to be kept pure, keep him on a tight leash. Derailed from his future. And Lily is not a predator. It's the men. It's always the men who are predators.
That's good. Coming from you, it's laughable. Really, it is. We both know that common sense can give way to...
Oh, please, don't tell me about your sex life.
No,
I swear, I won't take
No,
you
I'm not.
I won't.
Now, listen. I am serious about keeping Dustin on the straight and narrow. Come hell or high water, I want him in Cambridge in fall.
Lucinda. Sorry to disturb you. John was just leaving, so I didn't bother to knock.
Oh, darling.
You never have to knock. Darling, I was just thinking of you. It must have been ESP.
No, it's not ESP, Lucy. I'm just making a serious call as a concerned citizen who's bothered by some things I hear about you and Lily.
What?
Well, such as you're using Holden to dissuade her from going out to the
how
Snyder
did you
farm
hear
from
about
Sierra.
Well, why did Sierra tell
That's
you?
not exactly the point, is it? Why are you keeping Lily from a place that she feels happy and welcome?
Just another one of my misconceived efforts to try to keep Lily at home and to do her studying, and it's a silly notion, and I've scrapped it.
Oh, even though you've given Holden a raise?
How did you know? Oh, you're doing your homework. Holden's raise, it was just meritorious.
Yeah. I'm sure it's more complicated than that, but why are you so threatened by the Snyders?
Can't do a few moments alone these days. Why do you waste our precious moments?
Precious moments. Take a look at my face, Lucinda. You see this? This is an angry face. And I want an answer.
Me. You think about me just as much as I think about you. I know it. In the same way, because I see it. I see it in your eyes, and I see it now. Oh, I get so deliciously warm when I'm angry with you. There are no rules with us, you know? There never were rules. We understand each other. You know, we fight, but we understand. And what people say they want, we want to do. And I say the hell with it. I say the hell with it.
Why don't you do us both a favor? Take a cold shower.
God, no. You want me to?
Would that make you feel better?
Yes, yes.
No, baby. You almost ruined my life last time.
Maybe we'll meet again.
All right. I did come here because of you. Because I don't want to see what's going to happen when Lily finds out what you've been hiding from her. You're going to be alone. Get it together.
Hello?
Heather, it's Roy.
Oh, hello. Don't tell me we're not on for tonight.
No, I'm just going to be a little bit late. My good buddy, the district attorney, has called me as a witness in the Kim Hughes case, and he's going to brief me.
You've got to be kidding tonight.
Actually, it's now. Look, I don't know how long this is going to be, but I've called Mom, and she's already got the food in the oven, so she can't hold it. Could you be an angel and just meet me there?
You mean you want me to go by myself?
Yeah. I'm sure you'll charm them all. By the time I get there, you'll be so at home, I'll feel like the outsider. Look, I better get off. The sooner I get started, the sooner I can meet you at my folks. You got the address?
Yeah. Well, I bought some little presents for your mom and your sister. Oh, just tell me their names one more time.
Mom is Sarah, sister Nella, Dad Leonard.
Mom, Sarah, sister, Nella. Okay. I'm getting so nervous.
Believe me, you have nothing to worry about. They'll love you, and I love you.
Thank you. And see you later. Bye.
So, see, Tom, as you can tell, that letter shows that Whit had nothing to do with Martin's death. It was totally Martin's own doing.
Well, Mom, without a signature, it's hardly proof.
Oh, wow, that's all the proof I needed. Just that letter, and then, well, that gave me every excuse to go over there and see that snake in the grass and send us.
That's the part I want to hear about.
Darling, I wish you had been there. I really do. You should have seen her when she read the copy of that letter. She got so upset. She tore it into 1,000 pieces and threw it in the fireplace. Then you should have seen the expression on her face when I said, "Oh, sweetheart, that's perfectly all right. I have other copies." And then I told her, I said, "Craig and I were not going to rest until we found out why Martin really killed himself." I left the house. She was hysterical.
Oh, Lisa, you are something
I am.
Get the phone.
Well, you certainly cheered Franny up.
Good.
Will you stay for dinner?
I'd love to, but I can't. I must get over to the restaurant, the new one. We had a wonderful opening night, but a few little kinks have to be straightened out.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Sweetheart, Why don't you stay here and have dinner? You'll have a good home-cooked meal, and you need that.
Well, I do need it, Mom, but I've got a lot of work to do at the office, and my house is an awful big mess. I better decline.
Hey, do you think I did the right thing when I asked Shannon to invite Margot to be in the wedding?
I don't know, Mom. It hasn't changed very much.
Well, it will. You'll be spending more time together, and that's what you need.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Bye-bye. That was Heather. She said that the DA is calling Roy Franklin as a witness before the grand jury.
Well, that's odd. What the hell is he going for?
Margot's here.
Hello, Margot.
Oh, hi there.
Mother, Sarah, sister, Noah, father, Leonard.
Hello, I'm Heather. You must be Noah.
Can you hear me with that thing on?
I hear you.
Where's Roy?
Well, he was held up at work, and he asked me to meet him here. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right if he says so.
Can I come in?
Sure, if he wants to. Hey, Mom! Miss Heather Dalton's here, so roll out the red carpet.
Billy? I'm sorry. I might have gotten a little carried away before, but you felt so good.
All right, really. I understand.
You know, I could have gotten more carried away. But I didn't do that because I respect you too much. I know that sounds really corny, but I'm serious. I really do.
Okay, Dusty, thanks.
Really,
That means a lot.
It's true. I mean it.
Nothing sure. It's getting late. I think you should go home and you should study, and I should go home and work on my relationship, my wonderful relationship with my mother.
You're right.
I knew that was coming.
You knew that.
I'm so happy, Lily. I really am. I miss you so
Oh,
much.
I miss you too.
We've been through so much together. And I think that's probably why we're both confused about the same things. But if we stick with each other, I bet we can get through them.
You're right. Come on.
Every time I'm with you, I feel better, you know? I guess that's a good sign. Something that goes along with growing up.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
Miss Snyder, why have you come here to my house?
I tried to call you on the phone. You hung up on me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I had company. I was busy. I just cannot drop whatever I'm doing whenever you have the whim to make a demand.
It's not a whim, Mrs. Walsh.
We'll get it off your chest, baby. All right? I don't want you to be here when Lily comes back.
Why not?
I thought that you were going to leave Lily alone. I thought you were going to leave me alone. But I get no grace period, of course. I can't turn around. I find you in my house. I find you talking on the phone to me with a new demand. What is it that...
How dare you use Holt and
try to keep Lily from the farm.
Oh, my. Now, how did you find out about that?
Sierra told Craig.
He is very young. He is very impressionable. He is trying to do a good job here. How dare you use him as your personal secret agent?
He's neither Bolstaff. Anyway, I told him to ease off.
Only because Sierra called you on it.
Oh, now, how did you find out about that? You and Craig really compare notes.
Yeah, Mrs. Walsh, I warned you. I warned you to keep my family out of this battle that you insist on fighting with me.
I insist. What choice have I got, Miss Snyder?
Oh. Just worry about Lily's happiness. Because that's all I want.
I'm not trying to blackmail you. I do not want any of your money.
There's so many kinds of blackmail, aren't there? There's so many ways of getting what you want.
Yes.
You're doing everything you can to come between me and Lily and to win her to your side.
I wish I could honestly convince you that this is not a contest.
Listen, it's a contest. You're no mother. You don't have feelings for her.
I do.
Do you want to raise her? Do you want her to grow? Do you want to support her? Do you want her?
Hi. What are you doing here? Hi. Oh, gosh. Miss you.
Margot, that was so thoughtful of you to come over here and tell us about Roy.
Well, I guess I got scooped by Heather.
Have you heard anything down at police headquarters?
No, just that Roy's being called as a witness.
Any idea as to why?
Nope. Well, I should go home. I have to change.
Come on, sweetheart. I'll walk out the door with you.
I wonder who that is. Oh, Detective Munson, come on in.
Sal, what are you doing?
Hi, Margot. I just dropped by to tell you that the grand jury has been assembled.
Already?
Yes, and I have a subpoena here for Mrs. Hughes. She's to appear before them tomorrow afternoon.
Stay tuned for Capital. Next on most of these CBS stations. New York. Furs by Christie Brothers. Join us tomorrow for As the World Turns.